Oh, you gotta love that time of year. Today we're gonna be working on the rear differential of the Dana 70 on the 98.5. Have a Spicer rebuild kit here. I'm pumped because when I rebuilt the tranny, I put in some Red Eagle Altos, and these are Alto USA clutch assist for this Dana 70 power lock. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start by pulling off the diff cover, pulling out the axle shafts, and draining the fluid. Starting out by using our 14 mil socket, removing the bolts. See if I can set you somewhere. Almost perfect. Leave that one loose. I'm gonna go get me something to pry that off. I'm not a fan of these Craftsman screwdrivers. All of them I've broken either the tips off or the handles off. So now it makes a good punch. Oh, some good looking fluid in there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let that drain for a little while. So I made a little ramp there into the pan. Take our 14 mil and start pulling these guys out. One-handed fun. I'm going to pull these out and I'll be back with you. Well, I forgot to hit the record button, but you just pull the bolts out and then remove it. We're just doing that to pull the axle out of the center section so that way we can remove it. I'll go ahead and do that to the other side as well. One thing that I got to do before I do the rest of that is I have to take these clutch discs and I have to throw them in this friction modifier and let them sit for a couple minutes and let the clutch material absorb the friction modifier into it. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little pan and let them soak for a little bit. It's like a cooking channel, gotta let them marinate. Wonder if I should throw a little gear oil in there and kind of let it fill up a little bit more. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Cut it with a little gear oil. I'll be back. All right, we got it filled up enough. They're in there marinating. Put a lid on it so that way the leaves don't get in there. Now we'll go back to work and we'll take this axle shaft out. Repeat the process on this side now. Ooh, I didn't like that one. All right, I'll be back with you in a minute. Everything removed. Just pull it out. You can hear it click, fall out. Oh man, that is good look fluid. It's not that old either. If I'm just a YouTube mechanic, not a real mechanic. So if any of y'all know why it's nasty black, am I using the wrong gear oil? Place a comment. Alright, we're back under the truck. Now it's time to struggle bus and pull this center section out of here. Let's see what happens. I got a 19 mil socket. That wasn't bad at all. That one there. That one there. Now you can see the axles. I had to bring them in order to take that out. So there we go. There she is out of the truck. Now for my representation here, I'm not going to mark it, but you can see we have our number there and these marks here, and we'll just make sure that they correlate up with the numbers on the gear. I don't believe that's the only spot there's numbers there or there, so we'll just remember that that's how that goes, and we have video proof. We can go back, double check, and see the teeth don't really look like they're in bad shape. And, I mean, a little bit of some pitting there, or is it just some oil? Oh, it's just like some oil and stuff on there. So we'll go ahead and we'll remove these bolts and get this dissected. I mean, how nice is that? We're using 14 mil again. 14 and a 19 is all that I use so far. Don't worry, when I put it back together, I will use a torque wrench. Ooh, I don't like that. See. Okay, it's like stuck down in there. I already built this not too long ago, but I was very unhappy with the kit that I used. So that's why we're doing it again. It doesn't look too bad or anything. You can use this as spare parts kit. But you can see that it ate through that clutch material on this thing pretty good. That's probably where all that black was coming from. That one doesn't look too bad. Now these things are concave, they're like a spring. Where is... Yeah, I'll see if I can use this guy. Here. I'm gonna dig that out of there, dig that out of there, and we'll be back to clean some stuff up. I'm over here inspecting things. You know, these two clutch discs here, they're weird on the wear. And I was looking over here and whoop, we got a tooth missing, chunked right out of there. So we're gonna have to go through and make sure that all debris is cleaned out of the differential housing. This one looks all right. This side gear looks okay. Some of these teeth, like right there, has a little bit of some odd wear on it. Down in here, after I remove the clutch disc, you can see some, oh, that's just oil. That surface looks nice. But this one over here, it has a bunch of weird marks into it. Interesting. As the great philosopher once said, I'm still gonna send it. Figured I would spare you the boringness of scraping silicone off everything. So here we have the little instructions on how to assemble your clutch discs and metal, what would you call them, cone or convex plates. So here you got your side gear, and then your clutch ring, and then on there on the clutch disc it has thin and thick. Well, it doesn't say thick, it just says thin on the clutch disc. I think I showed you that, and you can kind of see how the concave part goes towards the clutch ring, and the convex, I think I'm saying that right, if I'm not, correct me in the comments, goes towards the outside. So you have one thick and two thin with two of those metal plates in between. That's how you assemble it. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing all put together and thrown in there so we can start torquing things down. All right, to show you, can you see that? It says thin. Let me see if I can. It says thin right there. On the other side, it has the, sorry about the sun and everything. It's getting a little brutal. Let's see here. Thin. Up there it says the Alto. On this one there's nothing. Man, I can't do nothing these days with these. So you got Alto USA up top, nothing on the bottom. Let's see here. Alto USA, thin. So that's how you know. Alright, so we're going to start assembling. I have them stacked on there according to how it's shown here. Flip it over into there. I'm just going to. So we have a thin one, and the metal plate. Actually, let me see if I can just grab the whole thing and jockey it down in there. Hang on. Yeah, so I put a couple down in there first and then put it in there. Thing you got to remember to do, or feel, is to make sure that these splines here are into the splines on the metal convex washers. That is important. So after I got it in there, I wiggled it around until I felt it click down into there. So that's down into there. Now we can throw our little spider gears in there. Alright, we got our spider gears laid onto there. Important thing to note, I guess, is to make sure that the V, man, that's, sorry man, the sun is not helping me out at all here today. Make sure that the V there and there line up. Now you got those convex washers that are like a spring. Sorry about the LED flashing, but that's what you want to see. So it's not going to sit down into there until you clamp it together and torque it down. So now we're going to get this guy filled up and slid onto the other side. So I have it assembled with a thick disc concaved, thin disc concaved, and I got one thin stuff down in there. And what I'm going to try to do now is pick that piece up and boop, while making sure that I said that the numbers here match the numbers on top when I put it together. So this is definitely not going to be something that I'm going to be able to show you guys. Maybe I'll be able to set the camera up somewhere, but with the sunlight and everything right now, it might not go so well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Somewhat. goes there, that goes there. And then I think something like that. So there we have it. Our gouge marks, our numbers. These numbers down here. We got our angle pieces there, angle pieces down there, and like I said, now we have to put the bolts in and clamp it together. Again, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. Tell me in the comments. If you approve of what I'm doing, give me a like, subscribe. You know, any attention is good attention. So, give me some attention. I'm going to go on the wonderful Google and find some torque specs. If you know the torque spec, again, shoot a comment. Help me, help other people. There's no wrong answers, I guess. Everybody has their own way of doing stuff. But somewhere through all of the nonsense, we can find the best way. See, I told you I was going to torque it. It says somewhere between 65 and 70. So I'm going to go around first. We have 33.8, and then I'll take it up somewhere around 65 to 70. I'm going to need one hand to hold, another hand to torque. I wonder if I could set you up somewhere again so that way you can kind of see what the heck I'm doing here. Hey, look at that. Slowly, and we'll do it in a cross pattern. I guess we'll bring them all up to snug. Not so easy for a skinny guy like me, but you get the point. You see what I'm doing here. righty Waddy. Alright, we'll repeat that process again. Alright, this time we have it at 69.8. We went 33, now we're doing 69. I'm not going to show you this, as I'm going to be struggling with it. You don't want to see that. I'll be back in a minute. Now when I'm cleaning up the gasket surfaces where I took in the screwdriver to open it up, there's a little burr right there. So I like to take a file and file that burr off, so that way the cover will sit flat and less likely to leak. And there we go, that's the after shot right there. There is no more burr right there, nice and flat. It's not perfect, doesn't have to be. Now we're going to try to get the bearing cups on and get this guy slid back up in there. Wish me luck. Yeah, I thought for sure I was going to make a blood sacrifice on that one. As you saw earlier, so that way I knew which orientation the caps went. Left the bolts in the top holes. Come on. Come on now. There we are. It's all downhill from here. All right. I'm gonna go get a ratchet, snug those guys up into there, get the torque it down. Oops, it's falling up. All right, camera set up. says 70 to 90. So first thing we'll do, well, like 47.3. Actually, oh, we're going to use a extension. It might throw our torque number off a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough that's going to really detrimentally affect it. Beep. Beep. This one. Beep. All right. $73. And then we'll just do 90. $90.2. All right, there we go. That's in there. Now slide our axles in and get them guys bolted together. And then we'll put our cover on, fill it with fluid. Oh, they line up and everything. Might have to wiggle jiggle to get them to line up a little bit here. Where is it? Oh, that one's good. Hold on. You know, I'm gonna put the transfer case in neutral. See if I can spin it. Important safety tip, should have done this first. I'm going to use the old broken exhaust manifold here, and I'm going to chalk up the front tire. I'll be back. Alright, upon further review, I figured it would just be easier to jack the back of the truck up. Do that. Look at how easy that is now. Leaves everywhere. You'll notice when I took things apart, I used the Milwaukee. When I put things together, I used the ratchet. This way, if there is an issue or a problem, I can feel it before it becomes a bigger issue or a problem. So now we're going to go ahead and lower it down, and we're going to put some torque onto it. Alright, it says 40 to 50 foot-pounds. So we'll go down 20-something foot-pounds. Crisscross pattern. Just like tightening the lug nuts on a car. That's that one that gave us a little trouble before. It's 20, 38. And then we'll go right up to 50. All right, and that is that. Go do the same thing on the other side. Time to put a little RTV around there and put that gasket cover on, or put the grand housing on. This stuff says gear oil gasket maker, specialized formula. So just remember, dab will do ya, glob will screw ya. It's a nice thin layer all the way around. There is a little gear oil that's still coming out. So I think what we'll do, we'll just put a little extra in that spot on the cover here. I don't fucking know. All right, well, there you have it. Next step is to get the torque wrench, put the torque on, pull the plug out, and fill it. Now, I'm not gonna bore you guys with all that. I think the video is long enough already. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Maybe check back for some shorts on showing this thing do some burnouts or something. I don't know, but thank you for hanging out with me this afternoon, and remember to get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, but please don't vote for the one that's going to destroy the fucking world and the country. I think you know who I'm talking about. Have a great day.